5 p.m. Newberry County Council Economic Development Committee meeting to order. And second item on the agenda is the invocation and pledge by Robert Sheehan.
With me. I hear you, please. Dear Lord, thank you for being able to gather us here tonight to conduct the business of Newberry County. Please help us make the right choices that benefit our community as a whole. Give us wisdom to do so, Lord. Lord, please be with our first responders, law enforcement, and our troops as they out there to protect all of us. Lord, we ask all these things in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, item 3, any additions, deletions, and the adoption of the agenda.
Make a motion to accept.
Motion by Councilman Shealy, and seconded by Councilman Johnny Max Curry. All in favor? It is unanimous. All right, the fourth thing on our agenda is presentation, our Central South Carolina Alliance. Jason Gall.
Giuliani, but you're good, no worries. And don't mind my voice, guys. I was out all weekend with youth sports, so I am a little, got a coarse voice, but I got a second over here that's going to help in a minute. But thank you for the opportunity to be with you guys tonight. So we're the Central South Carolina Alliance. We are your regional economic development partner. So we represent this county alongside 7 others and the capital city of Columbia. Our primary mission is to go out there and bring you opportunities to land a business, help a business in your existing community grow, and help you in all things wrapped around that. So we provide those lead generation services, and we provide marketing services to make sure that the world knows Newberry County exists. So our goal is primary is marketing and attraction of those companies. Over the last year, since I last spoke with many of you guys, few things have changed on our team. We've moved offices. We're now down the street from the Department of Commerce, still in Columbia on Main Street. We've added new staff that I'll introduce in a moment with Andy Caggiano. We've also leaned into some new exercises on behalf of the county. So we've traveled quite a bit on your behalf, some with Rick, some without. We went to Korea earlier this year. We're pretty much going on an annual mission to Korea now, specifically because of the concentration of companies you guys have here in Newberry County. So we go out there, we thank your existing companies when we're there, we make sure we represent you guys well, and then we go out there and source new companies. On all of our trips, not just Korea, we actually provide Rick and his team a copy of every bit of notes we take, every company we meet. You name everything we're doing out there is given to our counties, so there's full transparency on how we do it. And you can also track whether or not we're delivering the leads that we told you we would provide as an organization. So we've went to Korea, we've gone across the United States and other markets, all in alignment with our target strategies. And in the last year, we've also executed a strategic plan. That strategic plan provided a roadmap for where we're going over the next 3 years. That's important because it's not Central's plan, it is actually your guys' plan alongside our counties. It was developed in collaboration with all of our counties' input. So we actually had work sessions up here, down to our southern counties, in downtown Columbia and near surrounding areas, to inform what did we want this region to look like in 3 years. What are the success KPIs that we would want to achieve to demonstrate whether or not we've had success? So we've launched that strategy. We're just walking into year 2 of that. Year 2 started in July. Year 1, very, very successful. We hit every KPI that we had outlined within that model. That is partly growing the organization and bringing on more resources to help support Rick and his team here at Newberry County. So in doing that, some of the things we've also outlined was bringing more resources in-house. So one of the things we've talked about that's been absent in our kind of toolbox has been research capabilities. One of the things that in economic development, as you guys know, it's data-driven. You got to have information to sell the companies on whether or not you're the right location. We're proud to announce we're going to have a new person here starting in about a week that's going to provide research services to the team as an extension for what they do on the ground here. We also are continuing to double down on helping your community through drone videos. Last year and the year before, we actually provided drone videos of real estate properties that Rick and team have selected and are now up on your site. They're up on our site, helping market your community through video to the site selectors, to the end companies, trying to make sure Newberry County is positioned for opportunity in the sites that we think are strongest, or you guys think is strongest. On top of that, we're still continuing to do what we call a familiarization tour. This is where we bring site consultants in market into our region, and we have them captive for about 2 days. And our goal is to show them why this region is different than any other part of the country. So Rick and his team are active in that process. They actually have quite a bit of FaceTime with those consultants, positioning Newberry County one-on-one and in group settings, and why this region and this community makes sense for them. So we've done that 2 years in a row. We've tracked it. It's actually led to a lot of increased project activity. So as we continue to build that pipeline of activity, hopefully translating it to wins, we again share that information with our counties to develop that. In addition, on the marketing side, one thing we're doing quite a bit of is making sure the world knows we exist. Best way to describe it, I just did a board orientation for some of our new board members, and I tell them all the time, there's 3,500 organizations like ours just in the United States, competing for only a couple hundred projects. So how do you get through all that noise to let people know this region and this county exists? So we do a lot of what we, on the website, we're actually blowing up our website and rebuilding, even though we've won awards the last several years for a great website. But I tell the team, if we're staying still, we're not growing, we're not getting any better. So we're going out and redefining how we communicate, how we tell our story. We've also reached out and do a lot of earned media. So instead of paying for ads and things like that people don't pay attention to, we actually use stories. So we tell the story of what's happening in the business community. We position ourselves within those publications to highlight real estate. Again, getting in front of those end users, looking at what properties are available for their growth and expansion. We've also taken our targeted industries and built out pretty sophisticated research studies to go out there and explain why a certain industry cluster needs to come to this region, needs to come to this location. And Annie will talk a little bit about that in a minute, but it's really important that you have your value proposition well defined. So when somebody comes here, it's not just us saying we're great, it's here's all the reasons why you need to come to this region. So alongside that, our marketing team is also developing some new ways to communicate out to the world through social media and some of the channels that we know people are on now. So we're trying to figure out different mediums to get in front of them. So that's where we are. Rick has been elected now 2 years in a row to serve on our executive committee of our board. So he is intimately involved on a monthly cadence at a minimum of all the activity we're doing within the organization. We're extremely transparent in what we do. If you guys have not been, I certainly want to invite you to come join. We do investor meetings, we call them, about every 60 days. They typically are in the greater Columbia area, but it is a deep dive into everything we do as an organization. We literally lift up the hood and show you everything going on. The only thing we hold back is maybe a project name. But other than that, I can tell you exactly what the market looks like at any point in time, what we're seeing for activity, how does that cross compare, and then certainly what are we anticipating going forward, alongside with our efforts around marketing. We're measuring it. We're showing you guys whether or not you're seeing the return on your investment. So it is a really good meeting. Typically gets about 100 people. So if you are in the area for that and want to join us, any county individuals are welcome to join us for that meeting. In addition to Rick, we also have Mr. Joe Trainer, who many of you probably know, is also on our board of directors and has been extremely active with us as well. So we really appreciate having at least two, we certainly love more, to join us on our board. It's a very active board, very strategic board, helping look at the region and how we can grow opportunities for you guys here in Newberry County. So that said, I'm going to introduce Annie Caggiano. Annie joined us a little over 6 months ago as our new Senior Vice President of Business Recruitment. Very critical role. Her background is from local, working in Oconee County, up into the state government. Most recently, before joining us, she led the global business team at the Department of Commerce. So very excited that she came to join our team. And is really, I tell everybody, I've given her the keys to the business development and lead generation space. Her background over 20 years is really impressive. And I'll let her talk a little bit about what has done and will do with that area within the organization, because I know it's very important to many of you here to hear what we're doing in that area. So, Annie.
Thank you. Good evening.
Sounds pretty good compared to lunch.
How are
It was
you?
Figaro's lunch.
Doing
It
well.
helped with
How are
your
y'all?
voice.
thank you for that introduction. And I have to say, as someone who's been a county developer twice over, I certainly appreciate Rick and Jesse, and then also the committee and the work that it takes to really put the real work into economic development, put the money in the ground, and be successful, as you can see when you're driving down 26 and into Newberry County. So again, I'm over business recruitment for Central SC, and really that has 3 pillars of work that we focus on. One being research, which Jason pointed out. We have a new director starting on Monday. We're very, very excited about that. He comes straight from UGA, has his master's in economics. And what we've noticed in the last, I would even say 18 months, but the last couple of years, is the game has changed, and we have to be zeroed in and have the data to support what we're doing. The roadmap that we have with the strategic plan outlining the targeted industries and the gaps in our industries that we need to target. Our new director, who will just come in and really support that with more research and the companies that we're targeting. The other pillar is business development, which would be the projects that Rick and Jesse are working on every week. We're really an extension of the staff to support whether it's RFIs or it could be fiscal impact analysis, whatever the staff needs. We are there to support, to make sure that it is one team singing from one sheet of music to win the project. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, is to get those companies here and be successful in that project. The large one, is business recruitment, the lead generation. Like Jason mentioned, there's over 3,500 EDOs in this country fighting for the same companies, fighting for the same leads. And so using our strategic plan, we really have 2 branches in how we approach these companies, one being virtual. Some of those really specific research studies we did in both advanced energy and life sciences, we have a call campaign where I have about 5 virtual meetings a month talking with companies at the very early stage of their site selection. So they don't have projects, but this is just a knowledge building exercise. And we feel like this is a really incredible piece to lead generation and really getting Central SC out there as a brand name, as a community where companies know they'll be supported through their full analysis of a community. The other tranche is those in-market visits. We look at markets that really have a high concentration of our 6 targeted industries, many of which are right here in Newberry County. When we look at off-highway vehicles, companies like Komatsu and the suppliers around that network, we're really targeting those. Automotive, an excellent location here in Newberry in between BMW, Oshkosh and Spartanburg, and then of course Scout coming online. So we're really, really excited about that. And then of course, advanced manufacturing, which Samsung would fall under, is a huge target for us. We know that Korean companies cluster in one area. You can see that right here in Newberry with the history from Kisswire to Samsung. So they are a large target for us, and that's a large market for us. So really, we organize those trips, build the delegation, visit with the companies, and follow up on the leads. Because again, we're just an extension of your staff here. No one could build a staff large enough to do all these things, other than Department of Commerce, obviously, which is over 100 people. But we're really just here to support and making sure that we represent you well and really help you be the masters of your own destiny. I think that's part of the research we're doing, part of the strategic plan, is that we can be choosy, and we should choose what we want and not just take what is brought to us from the state or from across the world. So I think as the time marches on, we really will be focused on what we want here and what Newberry needs in the community to fill out the full supply chain for what they have in OEMs. That's all I have.
Okay.
I can talk to project activity this year a little bit. Last year when I checked our numbers, Central SC had 31 projects, either directly from consultants or from State Department of Commerce. At the beginning of August, we're already at 38. So you're going to see that activity only increase as we tighten the labor market, tighten the real estate market in our state. But when we talk about Central SC, we always say we're next. This is the community that, for one reason or the other, in Central SC has been overlooked, and now this is the land of opportunity. So this year alone, we've already seen an increase year over year from last year in projects and quality projects as well. So we're really excited about that activity, filling that middle part of our pipeline. So I think that's all I had in my notes, unless there's anything else y'all wanted me to touch on, or any questions.
Questions you guys have, anything that you're curious about?
A lot of good information.
Great.
A lot of good information.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Annie, I got to work with one of your team members last year, I went through the South Carolina Economic Institute, Sydney.
Oh, excellent.
And
Excellent.
so we interacted. We had a great group of people that went together through that. So it was very,
Very nice.
very informative knowledge going to all those 8 classes. So, yeah.
I'm glad you joined. I'm glad you got to participate in that. It's a good program. Yeah, it's great. Thank
Your
you.
class ain't good as mine and Jesse's is.
Oh, I know.
We're currently going through the institute.
Oh, good job. Excellent.
Which neither of those were as good as my 2015
Of
class.
course, of course.
All right. Anybody sign up for public comments?
Nope.
Oh, excuse me, that's right. Upper Savannah Workforce. Sorry about that. Cal.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Thank y'all. Appreciate all y'all do.
Very nice.
Pleasure to meet
sir.
you.
Take care. Thank you.
Safe travels.
Thank you.
Can I get the clicker, Rick?
I'm sorry? Yes, sir.
Well, thank you all for having me this evening. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and speak with you all here at Newberry County Council. And Mr. Luckadoo, it's a pleasure to meet you. And Rick, Jesse, thank you guys for meeting with me in the previous couple weeks. I just wanted to give you overview and an update for what's going on with workforce development in Newberry County, which is part of our bigger Upper Savannah 7-county region. And apologize that if we've left you guys out in any way, shape, or form. Never, ever our intention, so please tell us if there's anything we can do bigger and better for you all. So, my name is Cal Kunkel. I'm Workforce Development Director for Upper Savannah. Been there for about 2 years. This is my 34th year in workforce development, and I spent 10 years in the Navy riding submarines prior to that. So,
Thank you for your service.
thank you.
Boomer or fast attack?
Boomer.
All right.
I was a missile technician. My brother was my recruiter.
I got you. I worked for many years with ex-Navy nukes
Did you?
in the nuclear business at VC Summer. So, yeah,
Awesome.
I heard a lot of sea stories.
A lot of sea stories. A lot of crazy guys on those things. Just in our region again, you know, we have a great 7-county partnership in our 7-county region. We have a 20-member workforce development board, 3 members from Newberry County serve on that board. You all as county council help to appoint those members. Our newest member is Jesse from Economic Development. We have Chris Milstead from Komatsu and Stacy Felicia from Samsung. Just a little bit about the board and the board makeup. For us, again, you chief elected officials, you guys are kind of our steering committee and overseers for what you need. What the folks just before me talking about economic development, we have to serve them. You know, whatever Rick and Jesse and the county need as you're trying to bring business and industry, we want to make sure that the people of the county or coming into the county for those jobs have the skills and the training and certifications that they need to fill those jobs. And we always really try to look and make sure we fill those positions from citizens within the county. There's opportunity for people to upskill, move up. That's really what we do. And so our board, we have an executive committee. We've got the SC Works Committee, which is kind of our overseer and a priority population. They meet together. Priority population, we try to focus on people with disabilities and accessibility issues. We work really closely with vocational rehabilitation, Department of Social Services, so people with barriers, how can we remove those barriers and get them to be gainfully employed? That's our mission and goal. And then we have a youth committee as well. And we do work very closely with Piedmont Technical College with all of our adult education programs. So Ms. Kynard, we work with her and her program with adult education. These are our board members. Take my glasses off because I can't see what I'm reading, but see what's up on the screen. But this is our representation. I feel like we've done a really good job in the last 2 years of bringing in some good private sector representation. We're always looking for folks who are going to contribute and really talk to us about what they need in their hiring criteria and that pipeline of people. Daniel Grove just came on as our board chair, and Caleb Pilati is our vice chair of the board. A little bit about numbers. So this past year, from July 1st to 25 through June 30th, says 2026, we saw in Newberry at our center 4,384 visits. So when you look at our 7 counties, Greenwood, Lawrence, and Newberry, by far our lion's share of the people we see walk in our doors. We served 683 job seekers who got uniquely registered, meaning we provided them with a multitude of direct services, and there's 5,341 direct services provided to people, and that means staff, either SC-DO staff or our WIOA staff directly help them and service them. And stop me if you have any questions at all. Business services. So for us, this last year, we partnered with 708 local employers, engaging 1,575 distinct business interactions. So if a company calls and says, we need these job registered, broadcast on the SC Works system, we need people to screen for those, to find us candidates, to set up a hiring event. We can go on-site, we can do it off-site. We'll partner with Piedmont Tech. We have a big regional job fair coming up September 24th. That'll be at Greenwood, Piedmont Tech campus in Greenwood. That's our fall regional job fair. We've already got 61 employers signed up for that event across the 7 counties. Let's see, we've created 51 specific job orders for various companies in Newberry, and we had 26 participating businesses who repeatedly came back to us over the course of this year for hiring. A little bit about expenditures. I tried to break this down so I could show you specifically for Newberry County. So each year the state does a calculation, gives us a breakdown of kind of county by county allocation based on the big allocation that they provide to the region. So that allocation was $242,000. We'd used 91% of that budget. 38% of it went into direct participant training services, paying for tuition, books, transportation while they're in training, those types of services. 12% or $30,000 went into our SC Works facility here. And then the remaining, or 40%, went into staff and operating for the center here. And then you see a remaining balance. We always have some carryover because every year we don't know. The feds are in our first quarter when we're going to get our money, unfortunately. So we always try to have some money that we reserve and carry over year to year. Y'all have any questions on any of that? Demographics and breakdown. This is, we served 80 people total over the course of the last year. There's 47 adults, and these are individuals who just received training services with us. That doesn't count for all those job seekers that came through. So there was 47 adult participants, 31 youth participants, and unfortunately only 2 dislocated workers, because as soon as somebody's laid off, we're getting them reemployed. We do rapid response anytime there's a layoff, and knock on wood, there was no layoffs this past year.
So it's a youth participants 17 and under, and adults
16 to 24
16 to 24, okay.
is considered a youth.
Okay, and then the adults are 24,
Now, adults can be 18
okay. So it's an overlap there. So.
and up, yeah, and the only difference with a dislocated worker is somebody who's lost their job due to no fault of their own. So if they get laid off, they automatically eligible for training. So we can help to provide any of those services. And a lot of times what we do, if there's a layoff, we have what we call a rapid response event, and we take a whole team out and do it. The best example I have was Ascend last year in Greenwood laid off 242 people. And those 242 people, we worked with them 60 days prior to their last day on the job at Ascend. And 89% of those people had a job and were going to draw a paycheck from another company before they left Ascend. So ES Foundry was a big part of that. They were hiring. So a lot of those people transitioned over. Oh, most important part, it's a couple of success stories here. First one is Christy. She was basically a single mom, working long hours in a restaurant, food service industry. She really wanted to get into the healthcare sector, came into SC Works. We were able to help pay for her tuition, her textbooks, all of her exam fees, all of her startup stuff she needed to become a CNA. Once she was certified, she's now working full-time at Newberry County Disability, earning $16.32 an hour, or $15.32 an hour. And the second one, we do a lot of health care. There's a big demand for health care. Princess, she'd always dreamed of working in a healthcare field and provide stability and inspiration for her children. Again, a single mom. She needed a career path and flexibility, so she went to Greenwood Medical Academy for phlebotomy, and she is employed by Freedom Plasma in Greenwood now, making $18 an hour. So we have lots of success stories behind all of these. One of the things with our adult education partners, Piedmont Tech, we want to rapidly upskill people. So when people come in the door, we try to assess them with a whole host of tools with our education partners, see what they need, build a plan, and get them reemployed. And we try to move most people through between 6 and 9 months to get back into the workforce. And some of our strategic objectives coming into this year, we really, like the economic development folks, and they spoke about it more articulately than I can, but awareness, just telling the story, really being out in the community, seeing how we can fill that gap and engage the community. So we're launching some more outreach with our social media, through our website, revamping some of that, getting some newsletters out, and any feedback or information y'all can feed us on Newberry County, we greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Questions?
Appreciate all your efforts.
That's good information. A lot of stuff that didn't realize. We appreciate what y'all do for us.
We appreciate it.
Glad to have Jessie on board. She can keep us updated a little more often. I think y'all are doing a great job. Workforce is hard to come by right now.
It's very hard to come by, so
Anything you can do to help us out, we appreciate it.
we'll do it. Like I said. Thank you.
Thank you, Cal.
Thank you. I started wondering, I was appointed to the Central Midlands Council of Government a couple of years ago, and I was wondering, why are we in with Lexington, Fairfield, Richland counties, and our workforce is up there? We don't send anybody to that meeting, so we're
Right.
kind of missing out. So
Yeah.
finally, we're glad we got Jesse aligned and going. That
And
way.
like this morning, we had the COG board meeting, so I give an update for the COG board, but I'm happy to come up once a month, once a quarter, whatever you guys think, and provide an
Well, we
update.
might think about a quarterly thing, maybe possibly.
Okay.
Might
Y'all
be-
just let me know.
Of course, Jessie, with Jessie there, she'll keep us updated more often than we had been being, so.
Yeah.
That'll help out a lot.
Good.
We were kind of unsure of what was going on, to be honest with you, so.
Yeah, we want to make sure you know where the money's going and that is being invested. in
Not
making Newberry
that we
County.
didn't think y'all were doing a good job, we just didn't know, didn't have
Well,
any
you
reports.
don't know what you don't know,
so-
right?
That's right. So we appreciate it.
And they started sending me the emails, and I would forward them to Andrew so he could post them on our website about the job fairs and stuff, so that
Gotcha.
was good.
Good.
Because before that, we weren't getting some information, so
Good. Well,
I'm glad we got Jesse on board and we're
perfect.
getting that going. So
Moving in the right direction.
We look forward to it. Yep.
Thank you so
You'll be at
much,
the
sir.
First meeting on the 14th? That's right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Eric, would you switch
Safe
back
travels.
to the
All right.
presentation?
Next item is public comments. Now, we don't have any. Move on.
Oh,
All right,
Would you switch back to the other presentation?
staff report.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Well, Jesse and I are delighted to be here to give you an update over some things that have happened in the last quarter. Starting with Project Pearl Dust, as you know, of course, last week, council gave first reading to the MCIP agreement. For that, thank you for doing that, because that was one of the things that pushed us over the top. And it's no skin out our nose, it's all state money. So that was one of the things that really pushed us over the top and helped us win that project, because we couldn't win it any other way, you know, so we were glad to do a good job for this prospect and bring them home to Newberry County. Sorry. Oh, did we do public comments?
Yeah, there was nobody signed up.
Over the last quarter, we did have 10 opportunities, and we were able to submit for 5 of them. So that's 50-50. That's actually better one than we've done lately. But of course, you know, some of those are giant projects. Some of those are some that, if we have a site that fits, we're going to pitch, because we don't know enough about the project right up front to think good project, bad project, or anything like that. So we hit about 50%, and we submitted on that. And I don't think we've heard back on any of those except for Project Vitreous, Project Pearl Dust, of course. Bids are out for the road and pad project. We did move the bid opening back. It was to take place on Wednesday. Now it will be done a week from Wednesday. So we'll open those bids on September 1st at 3 p.m. here in this building. I did talk to our engineers. There's some robust activity there. So we expect to have lots of bids for this, which usually means a competitive bid cycle. So, but we'll see what happens there, and we'll get this project rolling. And of course, the stuff I told you last week about Project Pearl Dust. One thing we are working on now is this is not only a success for us, this is a success for the state's landing pad program. The state created Department of Commerce created the landing pad program to help these small guys. They're not big enough to drive tons of interest because it's not a huge capital investment. So they set up this office to help lead these guys into business here in South Carolina. Of course, all she had to do was bring it here, and we kind of took over. But this is a victory for the state and for the county, so we want to get a public announcement out of this and let the public know about the success here. Yes.
So we are hosting with the Chamber of Business After Hours at the Economic Development area. And so that's going to be on September the 10th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. So we've sent it out. The Chamber's got it on their newsletter. It's gone on Facebook. It's gone out via email to our industry leaders. And so we're excited about that event and hope a lot of people will come out and join us. So we're going to have some hors d'oeuvres and raffle prizes, and we'll have cornhole set up and all kinds of fun stuff.
well, you didn't tell me all that.
I got to win you
I'll
over.
have to try my best to be there.
Yeah.
Not in West Columbia.
I just found out I'm speaking, so.
I waited until you said you would, till I said I might come.
And then we're working towards.
We're gonna have it
I'm sorry.
at your office, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I heard somebody say something West Columbia. I said,
Yeah. I thought I heard that.
Yeah.
but,
oh, okay.
kept moving.
You're not going to catch me spending money outside the county.
Andrew started that.
So the other event we're working towards getting set up, we don't have anything really formalized yet, but we would like to do a ribbon cutting on the Mawson's Way extension. And I think we talked about this the last meeting about maybe using Industrial Avenue. So we're still exploring that process of getting that all set up and doing the ribbon cutting and everything.
But no official date of the,
No,
Correct.
not
No
yet.
official date.
And it'll be a simple affair.
But we'll wait
Simple
till
and
it's a little bit
inexpensive.
cooler.
But we do it. That was a difficult road to get paved.
oh, wow.
A little cooler would be nice.
I know how long this has been, so
We should
I
have a
might,
celebration week for
I might have to come out for that one for sure.
Of course, this is our road pad project. Again, the bids are going to be open on September 1st. We just want to remind you of the logistics of this. Remember, we were going to do all of this back in '21, but because of the craziness of inflation and construction expenses, we ended up having to cut that project in half. So basically, we're going back, we're completing the other half of that project, which will give me genuine, true access to those sites in the back. So thank y'all for that. A pad will get us competing on a head-to-head level with a lot of other communities. For instance, one of the projects we submitted for last week said they wanted a development-ready site. Now, what does that mean? Shovel-ready typically means it's an engineered pad. But some people think shovel-ready just means, oh no, you can go flatten it. No. Anyway, we're going to get this all done, and we're going to get that road completed, and we're going to have much, much brighter prospects over the next few years. Matter of fact, we're already starting to market this pad. The project we submitted on last week, we were a very marginal entry into that, but I'm pitching the pad. I'm like, it's done, it's financed, we're going to be building this pad. So by the time you get around to making your choice, this pad will be here waiting for you. So we've already started marketing that.
Good. Very good.
We had about 5.5, 6 years ago, Newberry South Industrial Site went through the Palmetto Sites evaluation. This is the equivalent of the old State Industrial Park certification. We had to do some things to get to that point. For instance, the boundary survey that we had on file was old. I mean, it's like 50 years old. So I had to spend $3,000 to go get a new survey for this property. Well, since we're at the 5-year mark, we've got to do a review of all the due diligence and all of that stuff to see what's still operative, what needs to be updated. At this point, we don't know expenses. Honestly, I don't think the phase ones will need to be updated this soon. Certainly no boundary surveys or anything like that, but we'll find that out soon going through this process, and we'll do it in as inexpensively as we can. But it's not going to be a really large expense regardless.
Do you want to touch on the appraisal, property appraisal?
Sure. Ted has asked me to get some of the industrial property that we market appraised, which I certainly think is overdue. We're basically still using pricing that was set back in 2021, and a lot has happened since then.
Lots.
So I have no doubt our pricing is off and does not reflect true market pricing. So we're going to get it all done for around $7,000. It's not official yet, but we're going to have this site appraised. We're going to have the Mid-Carolina Commerce Park properties appraised, and the remaining sites in Mid-Carolina Commerce Park too. So at least we'll have somewhere to start logically from in establishing these new prices.
Yeah.
Well, and I think a true appraisal will give us more teeth when we're
Absolutely.
negotiating, where right now we've just kind of spitballed numbers.
Yeah.
So,
We need to have the right numbers.
And this is zoned agriculture right now?
Yes, sir, it's still zoned agricultural. It would need to be rezoned. We talked about that in the early stages, but,
So it's currently R2?
yes, sir, I do believe so. Yes, sir, it is R2, as a matter of
That's
fact.
right.
It's not necessarily agriculture.
You're right, I was-
R2,
Yeah.
yeah. And it is a working farm. I've been out there quite many times.
So we're also exploring some options for having a department logo and name change. So we're just kind of exploring that so we can have maybe a broader mission, bring in some, strengthen our partnerships, and kind of better represent our current services and stuff. So we're rolling around the ideas for community and economic development as opposed to just economic development.
It's all conceptual at this point, but if y'all have any input, we're certainly glad to hear from you. And we're not going to be doing anything without bringing this back to you. So.
Jesse's way smarter than I am in that. Way more creative than me.
And she's way more creative than me. So.
And me.
I can ask my kids. But yeah, that sounds great. I think it's a good idea to, for freshness.
Yeah.
Freshness
Well, I
helps.
mean, where there's economic development, there's community
Yeah,
development.
right.
Where there's community development can bring economic development. The two
Without
are
the
really
community
tied together.
development involved, it's not gonna happen.
Well, one thing we've decided is we're going to take a stab at this first. I'm not going to go out and pay somebody $10,000 to design a logo for me. I have a background in the creative arts. She's a creative person. We're going to take a stab at this ourselves. And if we fail, then maybe we'll come back and say we need to hire somebody to do this.
We don't
But I
like it,
think
we'll
we're
hire
gonna
somebody.
fail. So,
I think y'all do a fine job.
we'll let you know.
Or you'll let us know.
One way or the other.
And of course, as always, we're going to keep improving what we control and attract industries to the area. There's so much in economic development that's outside of our control. If tariff policy is a factor in your decision, I don't have any control of that. I can't control that we don't have 1 million people work for us. There are things that we control, and we're going to be the best at those things that we can control.
Absolutely. I think y'all do a great job
Thank you, sir.
for what resources we give you.
And that concludes our presentation today, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, the next item, comments and discussion by our committee members.
I'd just like to say, I think y'all do an excellent job, for what we get to offer you. Y'all do a fine job.
We
Ain't got a whole
appreciate
lot
your
of
support.
product out there for you to try to work with, so I think you do a good job. I think when we get that pad built, I think that will spur some movement.
Absolutely.
And if I could add to that, I went through the economic development course at the Association of Counties, and if the presenter was driving home one thing, without a product, there is no project.
That's correct.
And so, what I've evaluated coming in and listening to Rick and Jesse and having conversations is for many years, there really wasn't a true product. There was land, but there wasn't a product. There were no water and sewer lines. There were no roadways. There was no fiber. There was no electric. You had land with trees on it. And that's not a product. It's not a marketable product. It's not something that they're going to be successful with. So with the expansions of the roads, the water, the wastewater, and now starting to get into pads, I do fully anticipate that there will be more activity and that these guys will be able to get more on-site visits from a lot of the RFIs that they submit. I really do.
I think most people want a spec building on the property, so to at least have a pad-ready site will get us in the ballgame.
In the
Whereas
last-
right now, we're not even in the ballgame hardly.
In the last several weeks, I've had 2 different construction companies reach out to me, and it's like, hey, you want to get together and talk about maybe doing a spec building? And of course, my answer to that is absolutely, let's get together. But
Shooting anything down at this point.
I haven't gotten those calls in years, so.
All right. So, hey, progress.
But I'll add that, to have the product, you gotta have a pad, you got a place, you gotta have the community involvement. We got a great community here, Opera House, Arts Center. We're getting ready to do the new amphitheater. So that's just gonna make things better and better, draw more people in. We got the trail system here, Palmetto Trail, we got Lynch's Woods, so we got a lot of stuff, the splash pad, so we got stuff going, but also another component of that is having some housing too, because that's one of the top things on a siting plan, that what they want. And we kind of struggle in that area, so some of our, we got a lot of restrictions that we need to maybe tweak a little bit. We talked about it before, that we'd have to go back to do and look at that, so we'll be talking about that too, to try to get the whole community, which I say y'all doing a good job by trying to restructure the name and change it, because it takes the whole community. And we're trying to just make it better for everybody.
Absolutely. Good job.
All right, the next item, which is actually misnumbered, it should be 8, is adjournment.
I made that motion.
Have a motion, Sheila and Mr. Scurry. All in favor?
Ah,
Thank you, sir.
Adjourned.
I gotta make a
Appreciate
phone
y'all.
call right.
Thank you.